And we're live. Hey guys, it's Tori, your Monster Energy Pit Reporter, and I'm here right now with Corinne from Dash 10. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing so good. It is so good to see you via the internet. We were on the tour together last year, lots of good hangs. Getting ready for this year, getting excited.
I'm so excited. Well, one, to hang with you
Yes.
because your makeup's always perfect, and I look up to you for that. Also, just yeah, we're super stoked for this coming tour. I mean, I've done the tour before as a solo artist, but this is the first time that we'll have done it as a band and with the band all together and like rocking out and sweating. So we're super excited.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's kind of cool that you're on the Full Sail stage, considering you are a Full Sail student. Yeah, must
I
be very
know that
exciting.
worked out. That worked out so well. I mean, when Kevin invited us, he was like, well, it's your new project, and we thought it would be great if, you, since you're a Full Sail student, if you played the Full Sail stage. And I was like, yes, Kevin, you have the best ideas. Like I was gonna say, like, no, I'd prefer not to play Warped. So I mean, that was a really cool thing that he opened up for us, and we're really grateful because we're, just starting out as a band. Our debut album was 3 weeks ago, and our first performance ever was the Warped Tour kickoff. So for us, like, to now be on the tour is just kind of incredible.
Yes, so exciting and so exciting to have you back as well. And so, in preparation for Warped, you've been taking over our social media for 90 Days to Warped all day. How have you been
Yes.
enjoying that so far?
Oh, it's been really cool. I think a lot of people are, just discovering us for the first time. And we also just put out a single. So that single kind of going in as an introduction for us is just, it's super fun to kind of get everyone's reactions when they're not already loyal to us. You get a real trueness to it. And so, like, some of the message we've gotten have just been just so, like, humbling and awesome.
Aw, amazing and well deserved.
Oh,
And
thank
so,
you.
of course, and so for anybody who doesn't know you too well yet, one fun fact about you is that aside from being a musician and being in a band, you're also an active duty soldier in the US Army.
I am.
So it must be interesting to balance those two very different lifestyles. So, how do you go about that?
Yeah, it's definitely very strange. I think, it's kind of weird how it worked out because, like, really I was in the Army and I got out and I was like just doing music and writing songs and recording and touring. And eventually and I was just kind of talking about how I had been in the Army just because it was part of who I was, and along with everything else that makes me who I am. So eventually the Army was like, hey, we'd love for you to come do it and talk about, how your military service has kind of impacted you as a musician. And to be honest, at first I was really kind of leery of it. Like, I thought they were gonna try to make me write certain songs or say certain things. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna be down with that. But they've actually been really kind of amazing about it and just letting me be true to who I am. And then there's also, like, this side thing that I happen to also be in the Army. So it's definitely not something that's like, you should come see us because we're soldiers, but it's fun because we get to kind of share that that's part of who we are. The other thing that's cool about it is that, they're buying all of our merch, and they let us give everything to everyone for free. So when other bands are like competing for everybody's last 20 bucks, to sell a t-shirt or whatever, like, we get to be a part of the Warped community and, like, give stuff to them for free because someone else already bought it. And so we're helping out the bands, and the fans get something free. And so it's really just kind of a cool synergy thing happening. It's definitely not what I thought when I first started to come into it, but it's worked out really cool, and I love it.
Yeah, and you perfectly led me to my next question here. We got to talk about those freebies. It's very important.
Oh, dude, free stuff. Yeah, I am so excited. Like, last year, and some people might have seen us, the Army tent last year, and we had the free custom dog tags, and we had my CD for free. So this year we're doing a similar thing. We're gonna have my CD for free, and the band CD for free, which is the new one. And then we're gonna do custom dog tags, and all of that stuff's free. And then we're also gonna have a prize wheel, where you can spin, and, like, the highest level thing is a custom Vans Warped Tour skate deck.
Ooh.
I know. And then we're gonna have hoodies and backpacks, and we've got a tour t-shirt, which I've always just wanted to have a tour t-shirt and I never have. So we have a tour t-shirt. And we've got like, littler things like wristbands, and we have some snapbacks that we're gonna have. And so I'm really excited. Our merch is gonna be really cool, and I'm really jazzed about it.
Yes. So if anybody wants to grab some of the free merch, do they just go to your tent? Is that the plan?
Yep. So you just come to the table and they'll ask you that, the Army purchased it. So the Army's going to be like, are you interested in the Army? And if you are, then you can be like, yeah. And if you're not, then you can be like, no. And that's pretty much it. And then you sign up for the band's mailing list. And that's pretty much all it takes. Like, then you just go through it. We're going to have a really cool photo booth too. And I'm not totally sure if we're going to have like people pretending to jump out of planes or how that's going to happen just yet. I don't really know for sure what it's going to look like, but yeah, once you just register, it's just your email address and your contact info, and then you can peruse around the entire tent and everything's free.
That is so exciting. So everybody, you heard her, go to the tent, pick up some cool merch. It's awesome. I love it. And so we were talking about this before, but you've done the tour several times now. How many years now?
This is the second time I've done the full tour, and then I've had scattered performances. This will be the fourth year or fourth season where I had some kind of appearance or whatever. So
nice.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So when you look back on those past years now, what are some of your favorite memories that come to mind? Is there one in particular that's the standout for you?
So much sweating. One standout was when, let's see, there was one of those special events that Warp does, and the pit reporter's camera broke.
Oh no.
and she was just heartbroken, and it was at the beginning of the tour and not everybody had made friends yet. And so she and I went to Walmart, and was it Walmart? I think it was Walmart.
It was Walmart.
But seriously, like, those are the things. I mean, I know that's kind of silly and I'm poking fun at you, but like, those are the things that are fun. Like, you go out on Warped Tour and, like, you just go through these trials and tribulations, and you make something fun out of it and make friends out of it. And so I think those are really the experiences that, just flash back to me, just the new friends and the stuff that we survived together.
Yes, that's definitely, I don't think anybody knows that story. So that's very interesting that you just had me relive that traumatic moment of my camera breaking.
I'm so sorry. It was terrible because it was like the beginning of the tour, and
it was
like,
the first week. Yeah.
And your job is your camera. Like, I'd be like, if my voice broke, it'd be terrible. So yeah, but then I got to make friends with you, and it was awesome. So
yes, absolutely. Such a community vibe out there. Whenever anything goes wrong, everybody helps everybody, and it's so wonderful. And so as somebody who's done Warped a couple times here and there, what advice do you have for any Warped fans that might be going for the first time this year so they can survive?
So much sunscreen. So much sunscreen, water bottles because they fill them up for free.
Yes.
And that's
cool
not
gear.
just because Cool Gear. Shout out to Cool Gear for saving my butt so much last year. And of course Monster, because they've got their what is it, tour water for the stage. So that saves my butt too. But otherwise, like, there's so many. I mean, a note that I'm taking for myself for Warp this year is that there are just so many rad throwback bands. And fortunately for me, like, I'm on the whole tour. So like, when Sum 41 only comes out for like these dates, or when Good Charlotte's only for these dates or whatever, like, I can, like, make sure that I get to see them at least once. But yeah, just when you get, like, when I used to just go to Warped Tour and I wasn't like doing it as an artist, like, I would kind of like look at the lineup and I'd be like, okay, these are the bands like I really want to see, and I'd like make an order of merit list and then I would like run to the wall and then just like, kind of, because otherwise you can get the wall is so overwhelming because there's 45 or 70 bands or however much it is up there. So like, I always thought that having that list would help me kind of sort out my priorities, and so it really did. And but yeah, definitely figure out who you want to see before you get there, or you will be completely overwhelmed. That
is such a great tip. I used to do the exact same thing back when I went to Warped Tour. I'd have a little notebook with all the bands listed and just fill it in, ready to go. So definitely a good tip there. And
you can be a nerd about it. It's okay.
Yes. If there's any place to be a nerd, it's at Warped Tour because we're all excited about it. Yeah. I just get to be a nerd for a job. It's good. And so speaking of all the amazing bands, there are some incredible ones this year, as you were saying, including the veterans, Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish, you name it. So who are you most excited to geek out over this summer?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I really love New Found Glory, and just recently the guitarist of New Found Glory, Chad, who's also doing like a ton of TI workshops this summer, which I'm totally gonna sneak in on, but they play. He moved to like the Nashville area because he and Haley Williams got married, and that's where they live now. And so he has kind of started this thing at the Franklin Theater, which is a historic suburb south of Nashville. And they played an acoustic show there, I think last month. And I went, and like, they're just so good. I mean, I think that they have kept like who they are as artists really true, but then also like they've developed and created new music and new ways to approach things. And so I've always liked them a lot. But it's like Sleeping with Sirens being on the whole tour, that's cray. Excited for that. Like, I didn't think that they would do the whole tour again. Like, I thought they were just kind of like they grew out of it or something. And I'm like, I'm so glad they're back. So but yeah, I mean, just I'm super excited. Like, some of the new bands like on our stage, like there's this band called Mother Feather that I'm like completely jazzed about.
And more girl power.
Yeah. Oh, so much more girl power. I'm actually really excited. I think the lineup is just really incredible, and yeah, I'm just really excited for it.
Yes, so many good bands, and good thing we have 2 months to check them all out because it's a good one this year.
Absolutely.
And so you're also helping some fans check out the bands as well. You're doing a ticket giveaway, yeah?
Yeah. So it's only 2 days left. So today's the 8th, right? So at like 11:59 p.m. on the 10th is like the last moment to register, and then we'll announce all the winners on the 15th. But we're giving away 2 tickets to every single stop on the tour. And so they can just go to our website, which is -10music.com, and register. And that's courtesy of the Armies. They're just giving away free stuff like crazy. So and it'll sign you up for our band mailing list, and you can always opt out. It's, we're not going to be calling you or hunting you down. So but I hope that everybody gets to register, because I know I want as many people to be able to get there, especially those who can't afford it, who've been working their buns off and just couldn't save for it, that kind of thing. So we're really excited that we can do that. So you got 2 days, you got 1.5 days. Get there, -10 Music, register, get free tickets.
Yes, so everybody make sure you do that. You've got nothing to lose. You could get free Warped Tour tickets and see her wonderful face in your email inbox. So it's a win-win.
It's such a nice face. I make awkward faces. That's one thing. I guess one of the pictures that went out for Warped Tour today was like, you don't have tickets yet? Yikes. And is like me making this like terrible face. But like, I don't remember, but I make a lot of faces. Like, if you watch us live, I get teased by every photographer who ever takes pictures of us, because they're like, every picture I have of you is the weirdest, cutest thing they've ever seen. So yeah, you can see my goofy face in your inbox.
Love it. And so you also just released an amazing new single, Our Time Now, today for 90 Days to Warped. So can you give me some of the backstory on the inspiration behind that track?
Yeah, absolutely. Our Time Now is really, I just, especially, I mean, it's an election year, which I'm a soldier, so I'm not going to talk about any of that, but it's an election year, and like, just all of the things that we're dealing with, like even, when you're talking about, the gorilla that was killed at the zoo because a child fell in, you saw such polarity, like the way that everyone was reacting to that, or the way that we've reacted to politics, or the way that we've reacted to all kinds of issues just that are current events. It's so polar, and I feel like we're kind of pulling apart as a generation. And I really wanted to write something that like reminded us that like this is our era. Our generation can now shape how things are. And one thing that Warped really does, and that I hope more and more people do, is pull together despite difference of opinion or whatever. Like, we all want to make the world really awesome. And so this song was kind of, it sounds angry, but it's actually like the first happy song I've written in a long time.
Oh.
But yeah, we write a lot of angry, angsty stuff, so but this one is really just about pulling together and making our time, our era in history right and just and beautiful, and doing it together. And so that's really what the song's about.
Yeah, that is such an incredible message. I love it.
Oh,
and
thank you.
And speaking of new music, you did also release a new album earlier this year, which you previously mentioned. So can you give us some more details on that? Tell us about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's 10 tracks, and it's our first full length, and it's songs that were spread out and written like over time and recorded in totally different sessions and stuff. And so, we kind of pulled that stuff together to give everyone kind of a sum up of like, this is what we've done so far. And so the new single sounds the most like us, and we're hoping that, we've got enough new content to release another album next year. So we're just kind of like catching up with how much we've been thinking about Dash 10 and like where we actually are in real life. So, but I mean, you're going to hear a lot of really, or if you stream it on Spotify or whatever, it's actually not for sale on iTunes because I don't want to sell it. I want people to be able to come and get it for free.
Was that a pun just there? Not for sale?
Yeah, not for sale is one of the songs. Yeah, so it's it kind of actually is a similar thing, but yeah, the songs are very much about a lot of just life, the trials that we all go through and the stuff that we're all just trying to figure out in life. And there's a lot of really organic sounding instruments. We don't use any auto tune on vocals ever. Just because that's what works for us. No judgment against anyone else, but we want the performances to be really real. And so like the guitars, the drums, they're all done in like 1 take or 2 takes. We don't do a lot of editing. We don't have a lot of, backing tracks or support tracks. Again, just because that's what works for us. So the album kind of should sound like you just walked in a room and a band started playing, and there's not a lot of fluff. It's just a lot of realness. And so I hope that's what people hear when they listen to it.
Yes, so great. So everybody make sure you check out self-titled album, Dash 10. And so in addition to Warped coming up, is there any other exciting stuff you want to share with fans that's coming up soon?
Oh my gosh, there's so much exciting Warped stuff. I don't even know if I can think about anything else, but we're
getting close too, so.
I know, it's so soon. We are going to be kind of reuniting with Warped Family Paris. We're playing, for those of you in the Philly market, we're playing, it's actually in Camden, but we're playing the Radio 104.5 Birthday Bash, and we get to be on the Discovery stage with Paris, which is not at the same time, but they'll be like right after us. But and so like Florence and the Machine is playing there, and like some like crazy awesome women are playing that day. So but we always love like kind of reuniting with fans that have been on Warped with us before, because it's just, you get to remember when we were sweating? Yeah, I remember. Like there's a connection in that like crazy amount of puddle sweat that's coming out of you every day. So we're really excited about that. But yeah, I mean, obviously Warped is just like the craziest, hugest project, and we're really excited for it.
Yes, it's going to be an amazing year this year, that's for sure. It's going to be a great summer. And so before we head out, is there anything else you want to say to Warped fans?
You guys are awesome.
That is true. Yeah, not a lie.
It's not a lie at all. It's not a line. It's like totally true. I feel, I think for Warped Tour, especially like, it's especially weird because doing stuff with the Army and going into Warped Tour, and I'm just being like really honest, it's not something that I thought would ever come together, because obviously like it's just not what you typically think when you see the two come together. And so sometimes we get a little bit of trolling because we're in the Army and people don't get it, but like give us a shot. We're fun people, and I think there's a lot more in common between the community that exists with soldiers and the community that exists with Warped Tour, and we all like pull for each other and work our buns off to support each other. So I hope that you have a chance to come see us. We'll be on the Full Sail stage.
Yes, nothing but love and support for you guys. Cannot wait to see you. Everybody watching Dash 10 Full Sail University stage. Make sure you check them out, and we'll see you in the pit.
Yay!
Bye.